Hi guys, and welcome back to another video. So today I want to share my tips on how to get really rich in Bloxburg. And I'm saying this as a multi-millionaire. You can see here I have 15.1 million. Okay, anyways, let's get started with the first tips. And also, reminder, if you really find these tips helpful, like, subscribe maybe, it truly helps me out a ton. Okay, let's get started for real now. Okay, my first tip is to actually make a Bloxburg business, but do it in a capitalist way. I think everyone that has a Bloxburg business is doing it wrong. People build their whole business, spend a shit ton of money on it, money that they will never, ever be able to make back. And if you want to make money on your business, that will just be impossible. I made this mistake. Here's my hotel that I built. I built all of this. The plot value is 1.8 million or almost. That's like insane. It's impossible to make back that money. So I lost money on this hotel because I just used the most expensive furniture. I went all out. I wanted it to be the best. But here's the deal. The prettiest and the most luxurious businesses in Bloxburg are not the businesses that make the most money. Okay? Understand that. What you gotta do is you gotta make your business, make it as cheap as possible while still looking good enough. You know, when you've done that, it will be so much easier to make back the money that you spent making the business. Okay, so that's my tip. Don't make the same mistake that I did. Just build something that's good enough and be nice to your customers or your guests or whatever. This works on all business types, hotels, cafes. I don't know, what else is there? Yeah, you get the deal. Okay, my next tip is to actually be a bit unethical. Yeah, I used to rob people for money. I used to go up to their house like this and I would knock on their door and I would take my axe and be like, hey, give me money or I'm gonna kill you. And more often than not, they gave me the money I was asking for. Threats work, okay? I know it's unethical, but it sure is productive. Okay, anyways, I've also done this in another way. I used to sell, you see this fruit infused water here? I used to take this and I used to sell it for $1,000 in my hotel. It worked. It cost $4 and I sold it for 1,000. And I just went up to them, my guests, and I was like, hey, do you want to buy this fruit infused water? It's super exclusive. And they're like, oh, how much does it cost? And I'm like, $1,000. And yeah, sometimes people were like, what? Are you insane? What are you doing? But a lot of times they actually bought it. So questionable business practices do work. Okay? I've also sometimes when I've had my hotels, if I think that someone looks rich, I actually charge a few $1,000s more and it works. Normalize charging people depending on how rich they look. Okay, isn't that an amazing tip? Anyways, okay, my next tip for becoming a millionaire in Bloxburg is to not spend all of your money on a freaking mansion. You don't need a mansion. Look, this is my house. It works just fine. It looks good, I think. I like it. I never use my mansions. I find it hard to play in them. It's not as fun. It takes so much time getting up your moods and stuff. I don't like it. Sure, you can have one mansion, but it's not a must. A lot of people think that the goal in Bloxburg is to have this really big house, but you really don't have to unless you really want to. So yeah, that's my tip. My next tip is to actually plan out your builds. Plan your builds. Yeah, it's as simple as that. Plan out the colors, the style, and the layout. It saves you so much money when you don't have to start building your house and then you bulldoze it because you don't know what the hell you're doing and then you do that a few times. That's how most people lose their money. And then you're broke and you don't have any money to build a house, so you gotta go to work again. You waste so much money by doing that. So please plan out your builds. Go on Pinterest, draw your floor plan on a piece of paper, plan out which colors you want to use. Okay? My next tip is to work. Don't click off the video, okay? I have a new way of working. My method for working is a rotational system. I pick like 4 jobs that I want to work. So say taxi driver, pizza delivery, mechanic at Mike's Motors, and teacher. 4 jobs. And I pick any amount of time, so like 10 minutes, then I'm gonna work at each and every one of these jobs. And when I'm done doing that, I can either just like quit working or I can do that all over again. And this just helps me not become bored as easily. So yeah, it's a very simple tip, but a very useful one if you want to work for longer without it feeling like a chore. Okay, my last tip is controversial, so it might not be for everyone, but it is to purposefully befriend rich people and hope that they are going to give you money someday. And yeah, it could just be a good habit. Like, don't befriend poor people in Bloxburg, befriend the rich people, and you'll be surrounded by a lot of money. And I haven't done this, okay? Or I've done it accidentally. I guess I'm just like drawn to rich people or something. And a lot of times, these rich people have given me a lot of money without me even having to ask them for it. Because people actually like giving you money when you're not, because when you're not begging and you're not asking them for money, people love to give you money because they feel better about themselves. They feel like if they give you money, they're a good person. Okay, so you just gotta like, this is kind of like manipulation, but if you're on a server, you see this big house and this person seems rich, you go up, talk to them, give them a compliment, and then become friends with them. And eventually, if you just like feed into their ego and make them feel better about themselves, they might give you money. I don't know. I think it's psychology and it's unethical. Like, I don't really care about ethics all that much. And some of you guys might not either. If you're a nice person, you don't have to do this. But the option is there if you want. So I'm just saying. So these were all my tips. If you like them or if you try them out and you find them useful, please let me know in the comments. And also, if you have any other tips, leave them below so we can help each other out here, okay? Bloxburg is not an easy game to get money in, so we gotta help each other out. Anyways, bye Diva and have an awesome day.